You are listening to Loud on the Set with Kyle and James.
A level-headed movie critic meets a loud-mouthed movie cynic.
And action! All right, welcome back to the show. My name is Kyle.
This is James.
And today, James, what are we talking about?
Movie news.
Movie news. That's right, movie news. We're going to be talking to you about movies that we've seen recently, movies that you and I have seen recently, and we're gonna seg into movies that we're anticipating or things happening in the movie world that we're anticipating. And so, James, why don't you start us out with a movie that you've seen recently? Give us some thoughts on something you've seen recently.
Well, Kyle, I just recently had the pleasure of watching bullshit Will Ferrell Talladega Nights.
Ooh, you're not a fan.
No, I was here. I'll set the scene for you. I was with the honey baby. You know, I was
honey baby,
folding up the clothes, putting them away, and fucking Will Ferrell and Dingus Nut, his friend, show up on the screen, and Talladega Nights starts. And you know, I've heard you talk about it before. You know, so
I do like it.
It wasn't even one of my Ecuadorian bootlegs. You know, I just comes on the TV, so putting clothes away, trying to watch this, and I don't know what everybody's thinking. I don't know why everybody likes fucking Will Ferrell, piece of shit Will Ferrell. This is a garbage movie. This is absolute garbage.
We've talked about this before. I'm sorry to say, well, maybe I'm not sorry to say, James, but I'm a fan of Days of Thunder. I'm a fan of...
Yeah, because Tom Cruise, whatever.
I love all of his work. I celebrate the actor's entire collection, in fact. And like I said earlier, Talladega Nights is really a one-to-one recreation of Days of Thunder.
So that's why you appreciate it?
Yeah, I do. I like Talladega Nights. Maybe some listeners can help me out. I can't be the only one. It did okay at the theater. It did okay.
Well, what a piece of shit garbage movie.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I wish you would have had a better experience.
I don't know. It's okay. What have you seen recently? I don't want to even spend time on this.
Okay, I'm going to go to the cinema. You saw Talladega Nights, which is a bit old. It's an older movie. But I went to the cinema recently, and I saw a very interesting film, James. And it's called The Lobster. Have you heard of this?
Fucking Lobster?
The Lobster.
You know, maybe I've seen a trailer or something.
Okay, well, let me tell you what it's about. The Lobster is starring Colin Farrell.
Oh, great.
And it's a very interesting, thought-provoking movie. And maybe you've heard of this, but let me give you a brief summary. You ready?
I'm ready.
The summary is, it's the story of a recently single man, Colin Farrell, who, believe it or not, in this sort of dystopian world, it's against the law to be single. And so he goes to a facility, this is in Great Britain, where your options are to either pair up and find love in a very forced, awkward situation. You can try to extend your stay by hunting other single people, or you can die and be transformed into an animal. And so believe it or not, this is all true. I classify this movie as a strict absurdist dark humor, and if you follow the script, which has a lot of care, there's a lot of care put into this script, which means that meant I really enjoyed it, and it's very focused. There are a very limited number of set pieces and places that they go to, and so the director takes a lot of pain and energy to focus and care.
Interesting.
And you know how I feel about those things, James.
Interesting.
Are you going to see it?
Well, what do you think? Do you think I'd like it? You know what I like.
The ending it's an open ending, which allows for a lot of interpretation. I think you and the honey baby could have a lot of good conversations.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Oh wow, you're being very open-minded.
Check it out.
This is rare.
Yeah, I mean probably when it's a bootleg somewhere and I can pick it up for $1, but I'll check it out sometime.
Okay,
sounds good.
All right, well those are two movies we've seen recently: Talladega Nights, starring Will Ferrell, and The Lobster, starring Colin Farrell. Interesting. Their last names almost sound the same.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into stuff that we're anticipating. James, is there something on the horizon that you're really looking forward to in movies? What are you looking forward to? Tell us something that that's got you intrigued?
Well, Kyle, I have a list. Can I go to the list?
Please, let's
Okay.
seg to the list.
I got the list here. Okay, so first and foremost, we talked about this a while ago, and I think we came to the conclusion that it wasn't the best film, Batman versus Superman. Now, you remember we had a pretty long discussion about this with some of our friends here, some nerds that we work with. And, one of the main complaints that we had was that it seemed like there was a lot left on the cutting room floor. So what they've done for the home video release is they've added almost over 30 minutes of extra footage into it. So here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that they give some more lines to Superman. He had like no fucking dialogue in the whole movie. So Henry Cavill, how do you say that? I don't know. Fuck you.
No, Henry Cavill, you're great. We love you.
Whatever. Fuck you. Cavill. So I'm hoping that they give him some lines, they put some more context in there, and they get that fleshed out a little bit.
Well, I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm not excited about that. I'm probably not going to buy it. But if you're excited for it, then Loud on the Set is all the better for it.
Hey, I'll hook you up with my bootleg,
Well, if you're, I generally don't partake in those illegal activities. If you remember, I've yet to sneak into even
whatever. Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so 30 minutes of extras. I'm sure there's plenty of behind the scenes and director commentary, and you can get your Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice fill. Maybe you and Bing and Aaron and Josh can all nerd out. You guys, that's you. You guys like that stuff.
Yeah, we'll see.
I really don't.
We'll see if it's good. I don't know. It was fun the first time.
Well, here's something I'm looking forward to. It's a little bit different than Batman v Superman. There's no superheroes in it as far as I know. But then again, you never know what happens at the end of this movie, because it's a documentary that's got the whole world abuzz, and it's called Tickled. Have you heard of this documentary, James?
I like documentaries, but I actually haven't heard of this one, so help me out.
Tickled is the story of a guy who answers some ads. He answers some ads for, I guess it's competitive tickling competitions. Yeah, men that strap themselves down and tickle each other silly.
Did you say documentary?
This is a documentary.
What the fuck? Okay, keep going.
Yeah, anyway, in this documentary about competitive tickling, James, apparently things take a turn for the dark.
And, surprise.
And the guy looking to investigate this world of competitive tickling stumbles upon some really disturbing evidence of things that it actually, they'd start describing it more as a mystery with dark twists and turns and a truly menacing, uncomfortable feel by the end. And so it's really intriguing. I really recommend that you check out the trailer. Tickled.
All right, I'll look up the trailer.
Yes, the Tickled documentary.
Tickled.
I believe it's been nommed for a couple of, it's been recognized, nommed at a couple of documentary film festivals. Tickled. Have I tickled your interest?
Oh, God. I hate it when you pun out of control. It's ridiculous.
I hate it too. What else are we looking forward to?
Here's something that I'm looking forward to. It's kind of in the same vein, but Suicide Squad. If you're a listener of the podcast, fans, listeners, that we like the comic book movies. We've seen a bunch. We try not to oversaturate the podcast with this shit. It's shit, right? It's just trivial shit. But I like it.
It's not quality. No,
I like it.
It's barely art.
But one of the things that's interesting about this film is that apparently they looked at the huge fucking plot holes that were in Batman v Superman, and they went back and they actually started reshoots on this film, Suicide Squad. And each trailer that I've seen has gotten progressively better and better and better. And it's just looking like it's going to come out to be something interesting. Maybe a nice cohesive piece for this, I don't know, fucking DC universe or whatever bullshit they got going on.
This does seem to be a response, DC's response to the success of Marvel's Deadpool. Would you agree with that, God. James?
Yeah, and it's just, it's got me so fucking mad because everybody's just going to assume that this shit is just churned out by, making it an R-rated film, making it dark and make people swear pussy, cock, and shit like that. And I just I don't know. Help me out, Kyle.
Well, you said it best, James, and that is there's a shift. There's a shift in the industry where comic book movies are answering the call of the fans, and that is you don't have to be dark like Batman, Superman. You don't have to have sepia tones and battles between your gods left and right. Oh, look at this. No, you can be hyper violent, which I'm not a huge fan of. I don't even like the gangster movies. You can be hyper violent and yet funny, and that's Deadpool raked in the dough, and DC is constantly playing catch up. I don't know if I'll see this movie, James.
Okay, well, what's something else that you're looking forward to? What's something else coming out?
Well, I'll get away from the serious stuff of Tickled and The Lobster because I'm being heady in this podcast, and I'll lighten things up a little bit. How does that sound, James?
That sounds good.
All right, I'm gonna lighten things up a little bit,
Okay.
and I'll show that I'm looking forward to something a little shallow, and that movie's called.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know. I hate it.
Shallows.
I hate it when I pun out of control
Yeah,
too.
it's ridiculous.
And that movie, listeners, is The Shallows.
Just the one with the fucking girl who's like surfing or some shit, and then the shark.
It's
Jaws remake bullshit.
Yeah, yes, it is. It's starring Blake Lively.
Oh, God.
And while I'm not a really big fan of Blake Lively, I am excited to see how they do this because I'm a big fan of Jaws, and so is Nerp Alert. Nerp.
That's true. From what I know, Nerp out there, Sandra, she's a big fan of Jaws as well, and a big fan of our show, which is great.
Hi, Aunt Sandy. Thank you for listening. Aunt Sandy, we love you.
Hey, Nerp.
I'm excited to see. There have been some Jaws-style remakes in the past involving sharks. I think even Samuel L. Jackson was in a shark movie at one point. Where Deep Blue Sea. Do you remember? Did you see that one, James?
Oh my God!
It was
we
garbage.
could nitpick the shit out of that one all day.
As you would say, it was garbage.
Garbage.
Anyway, The Shallows starring Blake Lively. I'm excited to see. Man, I don't need to see serious dark humor or like The Lobster or Tickled or documentaries all the time. I like to dumb it down every once in a while. What do you think of The Shallows, James?
Well, Kyle, all this shit, just it keeps coming out like remakes and reboots and stuff, and I'm tired of it. After all this, I'm just tired of it. New ideas. Everybody's just stuck. That's why I like documentaries, because it's what's happening in the world. It's new. It's out there. It's accessible. It's none of this made-up garbage bullshit. And can I piggy for a minute?
Piggy away.
Can I piggy? So speaking of reboots and things, I've seen a trailer for a film, Swiss Army Man. Have you seen this trailer?
I've heard of the movie, but I haven't seen the trailer, James.
And, after all this, cockamamie bullshit piling up, everything being redone, rebooted, rebooked, fucking everything, I don't know. It's just nice to see something refreshing and new like this. That's why I like documentaries, just because things are new. They're happening now. You can make them all the time because there's so much interesting stuff happen. But Hollywood and people are stuck in the past. They want to reboot the same stuff over and over and beat it into the ground. But I watched the Swiss Army Man trailer, and when it finished, I thought to myself, this looks interesting. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right. Well, I'll check it out. I'll have to look it up online or something like that. Yeah.
Do it. I don't know who did the film or whatever, because listeners know we're a well-researched podcast here.
Oh, yeah, we do our homework. All
but
right.
we got notes and stuff. Kyle never writes any notes. But
you've got your lucky podcast hat.
I've got the lucky podcast hat. I got the lucky podcast water. So that's all I need, plus all my notes. But I don't know. I'm intrigued by new stuff, so I don't know how I don't know about the Shallows. I don't know.
Well, even here on the podcast, we certainly get caught up in the patterns, if you will, of Hollywood and their lack of care and the marketing push is really dictating a lot of what this art form has become, and we don't really get art anymore. And so I'm glad to hear that you're looking for opportunities for something new and something interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. Swiss Army Man, huh?
That's right.
Excellent. Well,
I
James,
thought you'd know about it.
well, we've been playing baseball lately, and so
That's true.
I've taken away from the time that I usually spend doing my movie research and playing some ball.
You're getting better.
Thanks, man.
He came in. He wasn't great, but you're trying a lot. You're getting better. Your swing's looking good.
Thanks, man.
It's looking good.
All right, we still have to go to the batting cages. I would love to go to the batting cages.
We'll have to review the natural. We'll put you in the natural and we'll review it. There you go.
Wannabes.
Hey,
you guys are wannabe podcasters. I remember. Anyway, that takes us to the end of movie news. James, do you have any last thoughts?
Just thinking about all the films that we've seen this past year and everything, and it's interesting because at first there were a lot of films that you'd seen that I hadn't seen, that I'd seen you hadn't seen, and it seems like over time we've both helped each other, broaden our horizons a bit. If you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
I've started seeing more films like that you've mentioned. Some of these more artsy fartsy bullshit. I started watching some more, and we can talk about them a little bit. And you've been seeing some movies too. And you recommended a couple films to me. Bubba, what's it? Bubba
Hotep, one of my
Hotep.
favorite movies of all time. Have
Bubba
you watched
Hotep.
it?
I'm halfway through, so we're gonna we'll get done. I'll play to your hand here. I'll finish the movie. We can talk about it. And then you'll have to watch some piece of shit movie I like, and we'll go from there.
Well, that's what this podcast has been about since day one, hasn't it?
That's right.
Thank you to all of our listeners. loudontheset@gmail.com. We're going strong. Send us some email. Send us some movie news. What are you excited about seeing? What have you seen lately that we haven't mentioned? Send us emails, loudontheset@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube and iTunes or the Kyle Foster Arts blog. You know where to find us. Go out there, see some movies, and have a good time.
See you later.
It's going to be tough. All right, let me get into character.
It is going to be
I'd love
tough.
to be able to do this on one take.
It is going to be... Nah. Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready, man.
All right, welcome back to the show. Damn, maybe you get to...
Just do it again. I just had to hear it once.
All right.
I had to hear it once. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
At least
now,
I'm ready.
Now I'm prepared.
Okay. And we're gonna seg into movies that we're anticipating, or things happening in the movie world that we're anticipating. And so Kyle, shit. All right, we gotta edit that.
You're doing good.
That's good stuff.
Pick it up for $1, but I'll check it out sometime.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Well, those are two things we've seen lately. Talladega Nights, starring Tom Cruise, and The Lobster. Kyle, Talladega Nights, starring Tom Cruise. Wait a minute.
I think you got the wrong film there.
Okay.
All right. Welcome back to the show. My name is Kyle.
Yeah, I know.
And today, James, what are we doing? Movie news. That's right, movie news. This is one of our more ridiculous ideas, but I think it's going to be really good.
All right, I'm going to just...
And cut.